So let's just get into it with this. I'm using a primer that I know I like. It's this Becca First Light Primer. I'm using this really dense brush from Morphe. It's the E31 brush. Just an FYI, this might not match perfectly. It'll be close enough, I think. Sure, I haven't used this foundation yet, obviously. So I'm just gonna like draw some lines all over my face and hope for the best. So it's not applying a ton of product, which I guess is a good thing. I'm probably putting way too much on. Let's put a little down the neck so it blends. It definitely doesn't drag my skin too much, which is nice. And then it seems to be blending fairly easily. I definitely meet some resistance with it though, which is not my favorite. Since I do not have a Real Technique sponge right now, which is what I always use for my concealer, I'm just gonna do that. I mean, it's probably gonna look crazy, but you know, I gotta improvise. I'm just gonna kind of pat it in the best I can with the brush a little bit. Maybe use my fingers. Oh yeah, that seems to work. Let me take a peek. I would definitely say this is not full coverage. It's definitely a medium coverage. It is much more dewy than I thought it was gonna be, meaning my skin is a little more glistening than I thought. I thought it was gonna be very matte. It doesn't say on here if it's supposed to be full coverage or not, so I'm just gonna assume it wasn't meant to be full coverage. We're just gonna do the rest of my face and then I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna tell you what I think of this at the end of the day. Did it stay on? Did it not? I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna show you the products, exactly which one I'm using. I'm gonna use Urban Decay Perversion Mascara, Too Faced Champagne Eyeshadow Insurance. I'm gonna use this Brink ColourPop Lippy, and that's it. That's all I'm doing. And you know why I'm kind of in a little bit of a rush? Because I found out it's double gold star day at El Starbucks, so I definitely gotta hit that up on the way to work. Pick myself up some kind of iced coffee. This is like a really easy go-to routine that I do in the morning. So easy. So yeah, it looks pretty dang flawless. I'm actually really impressed because NYX is a very inexpensive brand and they kind of are blowing me away with this right now. So we'll see how it holds up throughout the day. I'm gonna just leave my hair like this, let it air dry in the wind on my work, and yeah. Oh yeah, if you want an OOTD, I'm wearing like this like farmer skirt thing, and I'm gonna put some boots on and I'm gonna call it a day. It is now 7:11 p.m. I went to work 12 to 5. I'm home, ate dinner, and now I'm sitting down and finishing my review on this mineral foundation from NYX. So I'm gonna go through the pros of this product first, and then I'm gonna go through, if any, cons, okay? First up, packaging, because it's like the first thing you see when you look at the product. You're like, cool, it has the color on here, and guess what? It matches perfectly the color of the product pretty much. I liked how Ulta had a tester of the different colors, so you could check it out. Came sealed, which was great because stick foundations, just like anything, can dry out over time. Foundation shade I chose when I bought this is 02, and I feel like I picked a pretty decent shade for when I'm pale. There was a decent shade range of this foundation. I wouldn't say it's like the most vast foundation range. It's not Rihanna's Fenty Beauty. I would say this is fairly decent for a drugstore price. The product weighs in at 0.2 ounces, which is pretty small. I feel like anytime I see one of these like stick foundations, I'm imagining, you know, that the foundation would go to like here. No, this is all the product that you get. I used it today and that's it. And this is all the foundation you get. It is, you know, for the price point, pretty good considering most stick foundations that I've ever come across don't have a lot of product. I'm not sure if it's because it's so compacted that that's thing, but I just feel like in general that's a con for all stick foundations. This foundation I found, when I applied it, its durability was good. Towards the end of my shift, about 4:30, I was but I got 2 compliments on my skin and that it looked really good, and I was like, okay, sure, cool. I hadn't really looked in a mirror. It's always nice to hear compliments about your skin when you're trying out a new product, so that's a point for this for sure. Looks like this. I'll swatch it on my hand. That's what it looks like swatched in my hand. Blend it out, looks like that on the back of my really, really dry hand. And it actually looks like it moisturized my hand, which is kind of crazy. Normally foundations sort of seep into the dry cracks on my hands, which is a telltale sign of the product going to look worse on my face. So it's been a minute. I haven't really taken a good look at my face myself. So I noticed it definitely did come off my nose a lot. So I would say people who have oilier skin, this is probably not your best cup of tea. I have slightly combination to dry skin, so it's a little oilier here, but I feel like it's more like normal. Oily and then dry on my cheeks. Stayed fairly well on my cheeks. I put quite a bit of product in this region just because I have a few like spots on my chin. Another pro of this product is the fact that you can take it with you on a plane. It's not liquid, so travel wise it's good. This little cap that comes with it is great because it'll help keep the product from drying out. For the price, the fact it's cruelty free, I really enjoyed this foundation. I would say it's not an extra long wearing foundation. I did not apply a setting spray with it, so that would get you a bit more time out of the product if you wanted to wear it for like a full day. To sum up, I think this is a great foundation for the price point. As far as stick foundations go, I would say this one is a foundation to choose over some of the pricier options, because just in general with a stick foundation you don't get a ton of product, and at least with this guy I needed to use a lot of it to get the coverage that I wanted. This foundation is definitely a light to medium coverage and definitely not full coverage. The coverage that it provides, it was very wearable to work. This was not very drying on my skin. I was concerned about that being this a stick foundation. However, it was glowy on my skin and it wasn't too glowy, so I feel like people who are normal to dry skin will appreciate this product. I would say people with oilier skin may find it a little harder to work with. And there you have it. There are my thoughts on the NYX Mineral Stick Foundation, specifically in the shade MSFO2. I think it turned out pretty well. If there are any other cruelty-free products out there that you guys would like to see me do a review or first impressions on, let me know in the comments below and I will see what I can do about it. All right, bye guys.